Om Jnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So today we'll learn about the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that is Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. So Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga. There are two people here, right? Daiva and Asura. Daivi Shakti. Daiva means what? Good or divine. Asura means the demoniac. Now, what we see normally in TV serials or what we have read in the books, so-called books, all the Asuras are with all these horns, big teeth, and divine are white, fair, good looking, and everything. But then here Krishna is not speaking about those Asura and Daivi Sampad Vibhaga. Krishna is speaking about same what we are right now, the humans. He is speaking about us. What are the two qualities we have, right? Everything has two qualities, that good and bad, right? Krishna is going to speak about these two qualities today. So first, and how those divine qualities will make us reach till Krishna. We'll see this today. So here the first thing Krishna tells is about the divine nature. That's the Devi Sampath. Sampad means what? Sampad means the whole store is called as Sampad. So he's like, this is the whole everything, right? Devi Sampad or Asura Sampad. Sampada, what we Sampad means what we collect in ourselves. So that's what Krishna is telling. So Krishna tells that the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the fearlessness, the first thing is the fearlessness. Why Krishna is telling about the fearlessness? Krishna is telling one who is fully dependent on Krishna, for him there is no fear. The biggest fear, anybody knows which is the biggest fear that we have in our life? Biggest fear. Everybody, all the living entities are going through, not just humans. All of them are fear of that one thing. Which is that?
Yeah, not easy.
Which one? Karthik Prabhuji, do you want to answer? Yes, if you don't want to answer, then mute. Yes, those who want to answer, please tell me, what is the biggest fear of this world? Yes.
That one has to die.
Yes, very good. One has to die. Not just humans. If you see all the living entities, the only fear which we have is the death, right? We will die one day. But then for a devotee, is there such fear? Does he have the fear of death? No. Why? Krishna says, I am Kala. I am the death. So devotees like, when Krishna is death, why should we fear? That means when Krishna is taking our life, then he will himself will take me. The death is only fearful to those who are atheistic. Right? In the previous chapter, Krishna says, I am Kala. Kala for whom? Those who are atheistic, those who don't believe, those who are egoistic persons who think themselves great. Krishna tells, for them, I'm like a fear personified. But for a devotee, there is no fear. That's why the first qualification is fearlessness. Fearlessness does not mean careless. One is fearlessness, one is careless. Careless means what? You don't care about anything, either good or bad. Fearlessness is for good. One is always you should be fearful that you don't make any mistakes towards Krishna. Second thing is you should be fearless that there is Krishna, that some or the other way Krishna will save you. Right? Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. That is the devotee's mindset. Next is the purifications of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, the charity, self-control, performance of the sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion of fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, then gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, then forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and the passion of from honor. So these are the things which will transcendental the qualities. These are called as the transcendental qualities belong to a godly man endowed with the divine nature. So these all are the qualities. These qualities, some of them are there in us. Some qualities are there in a minute way. So we want to increase those ways. How can we increase these all qualities? By leading a sattvic life. By leading a sattvic life, then we can have these qualities in more. Some qualities are already there in us. Some qualities we should inculcate. As we do devotional service, we need not specifically go for one quality. As we start do devotional service, what happens? These qualities will come in us. That's what the nectar of devotion also says, the Shubhada, Kleshagni Shubhada. Kleshagni means as you start doing devotional service, as you start chanting the Hare Krishna Mantra, as you go through Krishna consciousness, Kleshagni, that means all the Agnis, the which are like, which are uh, like the rods or the borders which you can't cross towards, like the circle which you can't cross and go to the spiritual world. All those barriers are kleshagnis. They are removed as you come further and do devotional service. All the barriers towards Krishna, all the barriers which are coming in the path of Krishna consciousness are removed just by doing devotional service. The second thing, after all the barriers are gone, what happens? Shubhada. What happens is you get good qualities in you, right? The devotee won't specifically go for good qualities. He does devotional service in as a byproduct. All the good qualities will be given to him by Krishna. So as you do devotional service, the divine nature will come into you. If you have all this, whatever mentioned qualities are there, if you have all these qualities, then you have reached the devotional service. If you are not, then we should try to do more devotional service. That's what Krishna is trying to tell here. These are the divine qualities. Now let's see what is Asuram, or the Asuri Pravritti. You can see here elephant. What is happening to elephant? What is he doing? He has what? Why elephants act like this? Anybody knows? Anybody knows when does the elephant act like this? Out of what? Out of pride, damba, right? They get damba, the pride. Yes, one is hunger. But then still further if you go, not just hunger. He is not here coming and hitting this person just because of hunger. He's coming and hitting because he wants to prove his strength. That's the main. Elephants have those uh, the feelings that they start showing their powers to other. That means the damba is there. And not just damba, sometimes they act out of pride to show the power and all of that. So here the elephant is doing this because of the damba, or the pride. So Krishna here first he says, what is the first demoniac nature? That is damba. That's the arrogance. We all have this. Don't think that we are sadhus. We have these things. We get pride. We sometimes act arrogance. We get anger. When something goes wrong, a devotee, we feel we are devotees. But when real situation comes, when real situation, happens in your life, then all this demoniac nature comes out. If we are really studying devotional service, like the great acharyas, then whatever happens, we won't feel, right? We won't feel any of these demoniac category. When Prabhupada was in India and nobody heard him till 70 years, he knew he was Jagat Guru, but nobody heard him. He always saw Krishna, but such a person who is very near to Krishna, everybody ignored him. But he was so he was not carried away by these demoniac acts like pride, anger. He never got anger or pride. He got anger only when a atheistic person tells that he's God. Other than that, for his own purpose, for his own senses, he never got angry, or he never wanted to satisfy his own pride, whatever the condition may be. He was walking door to door, he was begging. Srila Prabhupada was begging for, printing books, some money, some donation. Door to door he was going when he was in India. But that's what Prabhupada always told. The best service is book distribution. Why? Your damba, first, which is coming as a barrier for our devotional services, the egoistic, the false ego, the damba. Right? That's why Prabhupada always told about book distribution. One is that you will get some knowledge. The second is you will increase the humility inside you while you book distribute. You can't tell a person, go take my book, take this book, take this book. You can't tell. You have to request, please take this book. It will be nice for you, nice for whole family. We tell like that when you go for book distribution. Can you say sell anything just by your arrogance? You can't. You have to be humble. So Prabhupada always wanted book distribution to be in the first because it makes a devotee humble. The first thing which should be gone out from the devotee is the arrogance, pride, anger. These things are very, very impediments that will make you not reach Krishna. It won't make you reach Krishna. So a devotee should know where he wants to reach. That's why Krishna says these are what? Sampadam Asurim. These are the demoniac nature. So Krishna says Devi Sampath Vimokshaya Nibandaya Surimata Mashucha Sampadam Devim Abhijatosi Pandava. That the transcendental qualities are the conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you born in a divine quality. So Krishna is telling about the Asuri and Devi people, but then Krishna confirms that Pandavas are in the Devi. That's why Krishna says you're protected by the divine energy. And coming to the next slide, that's the O son of Prata. In this world, there are two kinds of people created. One is in divine and another one is demoniac. I have already explained you the length of both the divine qualities. Now hear from me the demoniac. Now Krishna is going to speak about the demoniac nature. Krishna says, Pravritim cha nivritim cha janana vidurasura na shaucham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. First one, what is it? Pravritim cha nivritim cha. They don't know what is to be accepted and what is not to be accepted. You have seen those statements, my life, my rules. Right? What is that? They are telling, I won't listen to you. Whether it's good or bad, I don't care. It's if I like that, that means if my mind likes it, I will do that. That's what they are telling. That's Asurim. That's the Asuri Pravritti. Krishna says, Pravritim cha nivritim cha. They don't know what is good, what is bad. Janana Vidur Asura. Such a person is Asura qualities. Na Shochum. That means he is not clean, nor inside nor outside. Na Chacharo. That means he does not know what is the proper behavior. Na Satyam Teshu Vidyate. He does not speak the truth. That means he always tries to cheat others. These almost are the qualities of Kali Yuga. When Kali Yuga came, these are the qualities. So Krishna is directly, indicating that the Kali Yuga people are something like this, the demoniac nature. And what happens to demoniac people? Asatyam aparitishtamte jagat ahur anishwaram. So Krishna says Anishwaram. Now what is Anishwaram mean? Those people in the world, okay, in the world, there are some people who act like a big person, who acts like a big person. But when you ask them about the spiritual life, do you believe in God? You have taken so many awards, so many functions you have done. It's all because of God, right? No, I did it. I myself did it. Nobody helped me, and I was alone. Nobody. Where was God? God was not there. I did it myself. I did it myself. Such people are there. They are very proud, but they are atheistic people. Now, person may do all kinds of good activity. This is very important. Many of them they get cheated here. Person maybe are doing very good work, so much work for the whole world. They are feeding the hunger and all of that they are doing, but they don't believe in God. They don't believe in God. Do you think they are great souls? Actually not. We think like that because of a lack of fund of knowledge. If we don't, yesterday I told, right, this world is given by Krishna. So Krishna has the, what you tell, he has the power to ask that world back. But then he is giving us this world out of compassion. Similarly, you are nowhere. You are not a person to feed somebody. It's Krishna who is feeding. You are just an instrument. But you are not recognizing yourself as instrument and you're telling that I am the one who is feeding, then you are ignorant, right? And you feel you are the doer. That's what Krishna says here, that he feels that he is the doer, he is the God. There's no foundation, there's no God in his life, but he wants to have great success. It is the produce of sex desire. Why one wants to be so much successful? So that he can attract opposite sex. That's what, no. When you become so rich, so big, what is the main purpose of this all film stars and all everyone? Why they want to become so famous, so much awards? To attract opposite sex, just to attract opposite sex. That's it. And has no cause for other than lust, either for sex, either for money, either for luxurious living, either for so many options are there for them, right? Everything is lust. So Krishna says they want to take everything, but then what happens ultimately? When you want, why this Kali Yuga is going so rapidly, so much destruction? Just a few months before, Russia and Ukraine was fighting. For what? For gaining a small piece of land. If we think this whole world is related to Krishna, will there be any difficulty in living in this world? No. But we think this world belongs to us. That's the main thing Krishna is telling here, right? Even yesterday he told, because we think we are belong to this world, because of that what happens? We start fighting among us. You are in jail, what are you fighting for? I want this jail, I want that jail. You're fighting for that. Don't you want to fight with the Maya to get out of the jail? The devotees are fighting with Maya so that they can come out of the jail. They are not fighting among themselves, right? The people in material world, they are too much ignorant that Maya makes them defeat each other, war with each other. At the end, what happens? Everything just get destroyed because they have no intelligence. Now, intelligence. What is intelligence? First of all, we think intelligence just means constructing a huge skyscraper building, a good car, 5G mobiles. That is the intelligence. No, even an animal has the intelligence to sense gratify. What we are doing by building all these things, we want to just gratify our senses, right? We want to just enjoy. Animals enjoy more than you. They don't want all these things. They are enjoying their life so much. Why do we want all these things, right? Krishna has given us intelligence. We can't tell that we don't have intelligence, more intelligence than animal. We have more intelligence than animal because we have more responsibilities than animal. Animal need not do all these things. They are sense gratified. They just eat, mate, sleep, and defend. But humans today, if we see, they are also doing the same. They are eating, mating, defending, and sleeping whole day. just this. They want to sleep at the night. That's what their whole world is. Full day they are working because they want to get a good retirement and sleep. Right? Even animal does. Animal need not go for a job and wait for retirement and then take rest. Animal need not do that. Animal is very happy without all these things, without your retirement, without your salary. Animal is very happy without all of these things. Why are you behind this? Krishna gave us intelligence to understand Krishna, which animals can't do. Why Krishna gave us more intelligence? Not to build a skyscraper building. Even a bird can go on the top of tree and build his nest. Even that has intelligence to how to build a nest. That is not our great achievement by building such big buildings. That's not a human's achievement. Human's achievement is what? To realize Krishna, to realize God, to realize himself, who he is. If we are not realizing that itself, then what is the purpose of building so big things? Why we want so big cars and ACs and everything? Animal is living very happy without any of these things, right? Uh, we are behind sex desire. Monkey can have 1 dozen of female monkeys with him at once. So, what is the purpose behind all of this? The purpose of getting intelligence is to not cheat, is to not build a big skyscraper buildings or build a super fast vehicle. The intelligence should be used in where? These are needed for our benefits, for this material body. We can't neglect our material body. We want, but then this body should be used for Krishna. But what we are doing, we're not using that for Krishna. That's the main difference. You can see this. So here Krishna says about the demoniac act. They take uh, the shelter of a lust, false prestige, being thus illusioned, sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. They believe to gratify the senses unto the end of or me is the prime necessity. What is happening? Okay. Prime necessity of human civilization. There's no need, there's no end for this anxiety. Right? Today I was just attending some of the seminars. The person was just speaking about problems. He said one problem, after that he told this was solved. But then there was another problem, and another scientist came, he solved it. And after that, the another problem arose, and another scientist came, he solved it. He invented something and he solved that problem. But then there arose another problem. He was just creating problems and he was busy solving those problems. But who created all these problems? We ourselves. Scientists are solving those problems which they themselves have created. Was earth anywhere? You have heard in the history that earth was full of all these things, bad things, pollution. Have you ever heard about pollution in the past when kings were ruling? We didn't hear those things, malinya, or we didn't hear about pollution. Now we are hearing after so-called industrial revolution. Scientists wanted to speed up. They are speeding up, but what they are speeding? They're speeding the path to the death. They're just speeding that. They're not speeding any of our life. You know, they made big cars so that we can go. But now we are in a traffic jam. We can't reach our home so fast. Right? So much they created. But then in the end, for sense gratification, they created. But in the end, everything was just a problem for us. Everything. They made flyovers, they made everything. But then what is the use? Everywhere there's traffic jam. Everywhere, if you see in the city, they want to make our life so happy. They created ACs so that we can live inside a home so happily. But then global warming increased, right? They started doing so many artificial gardening, artificial field, artificial agriculture. But then what increased? The health diseases increased. So they want to find a solution, for there was no problem before. But now they find out the solution, which there was no problem. Now the real problem arises. They don't know where to go. That's the real situation of all the scientists all over the world. Okay. So Coming to the next thing is Krishna says, so a demoniac person, how is his thoughts? Krishna is telling that he just wants to go behind wealth. I told already yesterday about Hiranya Kashipu. Hiranya means what? Hiranya means gold and Kashipu means bed. A materialistic person only wants these two things. Hiranya, the gold, that means so much wealth he wants. And then at the end, whatever, at the end, he wants to go to bed and enjoy sensual pleasure. That's what he wants to do in material world. So Krishna says so much wealth he wants to do that demoniac people think that so much wealth do I have today and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now. I will increase it in the future more and more. He is the enemy and I have to kill him. And my other enemy is also there. So also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am the perfect. I am powerful, happy, and I'm the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I'm, I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. Right? As I said, charity is not a big thing. People think that if I give charity, that's a big thing. But Krishna says, whom you are giving, that's the more important thing. Whom you are giving charity to, just for a person who is sitting roadside and does nothing, for such a person, or you are giving charity to a saintly person. That makes the difference, right? Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill his enemy, but the enemy was none than his own mind, right? He thinks everybody's enemy. He just wanted money and he thought he's the most powerful. He removed Lord Vishnu's name everywhere from this world and he thought, I'm the greatest person. But ultimately, the death snatched everything. Narsimadev came and snatched everything from him, right? And what about the Kamsa? He thought, my enemy is Krishna, my enemy is Krishna, I have to kill him, I have to kill him. And then he killed himself. That means he thought, I'm the only enjoyer. Why somebody wants to kill God? Because he wants to enjoy himself, right? If I see somebody more enjoying than me, I don't like it because of my jealous potency or envious potency. A demoniac person is jealous of God because he thinks he sees that God is enjoying more respect than him, right? Ravana had the same potency. What is Ravana had? He wanted to steal the wealth of Lord Ram, right? Lord Ram is Narayan and Sita is Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is always serving Lord Narayan. So Ravana, he wanted to snatch Lakshmi from Narayana, right? Even today, the materialistic people, they get so much money, right? They want, but they are not using for Krishna's purpose. Are they using for Krishna? No. The Lakshmi can only stay Lakshmi if she goes under the feet of Lord Narayan. If you're using the money which you have got for Krishna, then you're saved. What happened to Ravana? Did he get the real Sita? Did he ever get the real Sita? Can anybody tell? Did Ravana take the real Sita with him? Yes, the Chaya Sita. Correct. One thing that most of us don't know, that the Sita, the real Sita, was already gone back to Vaikunta and before Ravana came. Right? That means she was not here. She was going back. But then there was Chaya Sita, who was just the replica of Sita Devi. She's just a replica of Sita Devi. Right? It's this shadow of Sita Devi, the Chaya Sita. And she just came to kill Ravana. She was just, the purpose of Chaya Sita was to kill Ravana. So she was the one who Ravana took with him, thinking that it's Sita. Similarly, in this material world today, people are gaining so much money. They think that is the blessings of the Lord. There are people, if they have money, they'll tell, this is all blessings of the Lord. But they're not using one paisa for the Lord's purpose. What will happen? Is that real Lakshmi? No, it's the Chaya Lakshmi. She'll destroy that person. She will destroy. She'll give all kinds of intoxication to that person. That same money which he can be used for Krishna, the same money he will use for intoxication, gambling, for sex reason and all of that. Then he'll destroy his own life. That's what Krishna is telling here. Okay. No, actually, this Chaya Sita, the real story of Chaya Sita is she was a yogini. Yogini in the sense, brahmacharini. In the previous birth, actually, her name I forgot. There is one name for her. She was a brahmacharini in the previous life, and she was doing tapasya so that she can get Lord Narayan as her husband. Okay. But then this Ravana, he was so demoniac. He just did not kidnap Sita Devi. Many of them, they have misconception. Ravana, he just saw Sita Devi. He never touched because he knew he had a curse from the daughter-in-law of Kubera, that if because he snatched her and abused her, and she cursed Ravana that if you touch anybody in future, any woman, what will happen? You will get burnt at the same time. So he did not touch Sita Rani, Sita Devi. Then before that, there was a brahmacharini who was doing tapasya to get Krishna as her husband. But this Ravana, he had a lustful desire towards her, and he went and he touched the hair of that woman. She was just meditating, but he touched the hair of the woman, and that woman, she told, now there is no use of my body because you demoniac has touched my hair out of lustful desire. I can't offer this body to Lord Narayan. So I will destroy this body. But remember, because you destroyed my body in this life, I will destroy you in the next life. So she came as Chaya Sita. She wanted to become wife of Lord Narayan. So she, for some time, she acted like wife of Ram, that's Sita Devi, but she was not actual Sita. She was just a shadow of Sita Devi. She was exactly looking like Sita Devi. So the same lady who Raman touched her and destroyed her body, she came as Chaya Sita to destroy Ravana. So that was the purpose why she came. She was not Mahamaya. She was that lady who was the brahmacharini in a previous life. So that's what happens in the materialistic people also. They want to touch the real money, but then real money, that's Lakshmi. Ravana could not see Lakshmi. Can you think we all can see Lakshmi so easily? It's not possible. She only serves Krishna. She only serves Krishna. During Diwali times, most of the times it happens. We keep only Ganesha and Lakshmi in our altars. We should not keep like that. Lakshmi is chanchala when she is alone. That means she'll run away. But if Narayan is worshipped in the home, Lakshmi will automatically come. Why? She only serves Narayan, nobody else. She serves none. So that's what happened. Today, Kali Yuga, people have so much money. But even though they have money, they are into bad activities. They suicide themselves. Why? Because she is Chaya Lakshmi. She is not the actual Lakshmi. She is the material Maya who is making us round and round, play again and again the same game. So Krishna says, such person are demoniac, thus perplexed by the anxiety of various anxiety and bound by the network of illusion, one becomes too strongly attached to the sense enjoyment and falls down into hell. Bewildered by the false ego strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demoniac person, envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was situated in his own body and his bodies of other, blasphemes against the real religion. So, here the Shishupal's example is given, right? The envious person. So, next comes those who are envious and mischievous, who are lowest among the men, are cast me into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species. Krishna says, if you have such demoniac nature, then because you are, why such demoniac nature comes? Because we are envious to Krishna. Because we don't want to follow Krishna, we become envious. We follow Maya. That's the illusion. And what happens? Krishna also sees. When you are ready to surrender, then only Krishna. That's why Krishna won't force us. Krishna gives us minute independence. How we use that, that is our intelligence. Krishna gives us minute independence and he sees nobody is using this independence. So what is the purpose? Let him go down and down in a demoniac species. That's why sometimes we feel in some religion or some part of the world, there is no conception of God, or they are born in an atheistic family, so much atheistic that they can never be. If we see some people, some part of the world, we feel that this person can never come into Krishna consciousness. Such a demoniac, personality, right? Why they are born in such personality, why they are born in such family, why they are born in such country, like people, there are some people in North Korea, there are some people in America, they have no access to religion, they have no access to anything, they are born in a demoniac family, or the family where the demoniac person is head. Why they are born? Because they wanted themselves to be born in that, because they did some mischievous activity in their previous life, and the nature threw them into the deepest ignorant places, right? Sometimes we feel, what has that person done in his previous life that he can't get such a nectar? We are enjoying so much, but that person is suffering so much, yet he does not want to come to Krishna. What is that? Because of his own karma. So attaining rebirth amongst the species of demoniac life, such person can never approach me. Gradually they sink down in the most abominable type of existence. So Krishna says they can never reach me. But then what happens? So Krishna says they can never reach me. But then they have to reach Krishna one day, no? How is it possible? How will they reach Krishna? Any idea? Krishna says, I will throw them into the ocean of ignorance. So how will they come out? They are also part and parcel of Krishna. They have to go back to Krishna, but how will they go back? Any idea? Anybody has? Yes. Any idea how such a person can go back? I hope my voice is audible to you all. Is my voice audible? Please mention in the chat.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji, you're audible.
Yes. So tell me how such person, such a demoniac person, come in contact with Krishna consciousness. Okay, but then he has to wait for so long, so long. Krishna says there's no hope. There's no hope for such a person to come back. Through prasad, okay. More specifically, who gives that prasad? If he has to get prasad, if he is born in demoniac family, how will he get that? Yes, through devotees, right? Why did Srila Prabhupada go to America? Did the hippies call him, Dear Srila Prabhupada, please come here so that you can deliver us? Did they write a letter to Prabhupada? No. They did not write any letter to Prabhupada that, Dear Prabhupada, please come here. Instead, Prabhupada himself went there to America to deliver such people. They were so much into demoniac nature. They were so atheistic people. They did not have any light of hope to come into Krishna consciousness. But Prabhupada, out of his compassion, why will Acharya go there? He's a Jagat Guru. What is the need for him to go there? But he was so compassionate, right? Out of compassion, he has written these books. Out of compassion, he have given us lecture, right? A devotee is the most compassionate person. So out of his compassion, he gives. That's why we tell, when you go outside, you see poor people, don't give them money. Money will not help them. Give them spiritual knowledge. Start giving them prasad. In your home, in your home, there may be maid servants. There may be people who come for work. Start giving them prasadam. Start giving them, start chanting for them. Somehow or the other, not in this life, maybe in other life, they will get Krishna consciousness. That's what, yes, should be connected to devotee association. And a pure devotee, like Srila Prabhupada, not every devotee, the pure devotees can deliver such a souls who are demoniac. So Krishna says there are 3 gates leading to hell. Which are the 3 gates? Lust, greed, and anger. Trividam narakadam dwaram nashanam atmanam. Kama lobha kama krodha tata snobha. There are 3 gates. Which are the 3 gates? They are lust, greed, and anger. Every sane man should give up these things. That means demoniac because of the lust, greed, and anger. These are very deep topics. It's not easy to explain just in a seconds or just in a minute. These are the topics to be realized by ourselves. That realization comes when you chant, right? When you feel my anger is getting in control of me, right? These things are just realization. You yourself, those who are chanting, they'll know how the sense is getting controlled. Those who are not chanting, we can't help them. Those are chanting, they know how Krishna is helping them through chanting. Okay, the man who has escaped these 3 gates, O son of Kunti, performs the act conducing self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. So how can I get out of lust, greed, and anger? Easy way. It's the easy way to get out of the lust, greed, and anger. Yes, anybody? Nama Sankirtan, glorifying Krishna, very good. Who will tell these things to us? Who will tell these things to us? A spiritual master, right? A spiritual master, a guru. Yes, a guru tells us about these things. And he checks us whether are we free from these things. That's why a mentor is needed in your life, right? When difficulties come, that time we really need somebody, and that somebody is none other than the spiritual master, right? When we have a spiritual master, he checks us, he comes to know about us. And who is the spiritual master in our case? It's Srila Prabhupada. That's why as we read Prabhupada books, what happens? We get connected to Srila Prabhupada and all these things start getting out. That's why not just the shloka and translation, start reading the purports of Bhagavad Gita. You will enjoy the purports because it's written by a pure devotee of the Lord. Krishna further says, but he who discards the spiritual injunctions, that means one who discards the Krishna consciousness of spiritual injunctions, acts his own whims, right? As I said, my life, my rules. What happens? Attains neither the perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Though that's why Krishna says tasmat. That means after this, what happens? Tasmat charsha shastram parama. Sorry, I can't read this shlokas. If anybody can read, I think so. All the shloka reciters have gone out. Anyways, we'll tell them to read these shlokas. So one should understand what is the duty. More than shloka, let's focus on the translation part. One should understand what is the duty and what is not the duty. Krishna says, what is the kartavya of yours? What is your duty right now, and what is not your duty by the regulation of scriptures? That's what we feel. Krishna does not speak to me. Krishna has to speak to me. I can't listen Krishna. Krishna is in the Shastra. Krishna is in the Shastra. Krishna is in the spiritual scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And who gives us those spiritual scriptures? That's the Guru. That's the Srila Prabhupada, right? He gives us all the scriptures out of compassion, right? We can't reach Krishna. We can't hear Krishna's voice. But then these scriptures are exactly what Krishna is telling us, right? Krishna is telling, if you do these things, you are considered demoniac. If you do these things, you are considered divine. Krishna is speaking to you. So Krishna is asking, Krishna is demanding you to be in divine nature. That's why Krishna says, that is my opinion. That is my opinion. Why Krishna is telling that is my opinion? In so many shlokas, Krishna is saying, that is my opinion. That means he wants you to do that, right? Krishna cannot directly speak to you because you're not eligible to listen to Krishna. But Krishna is speaking through a guru, through Shastra. A sadhu, guru, and Shastra. These three things are very important if you want to advance in Krishna consciousness. So how is Krishna speaking to us? One is through the scriptures. Second is through the guru. Third is through the devotees. He's speaking to us through these mediums, right? We have telephone receivers, right? I am calling from here. I want to speak from my home. Maybe that person, from opposite person, he's away, he's in Delhi. What should I do? There is something called server which connects the two telephones. Similarly, I want to speak to Krishna. Krishna also wants to speak to us. And then what is that server which is connecting me and Krishna? That's the guru, right? That's the shastras, that's the sadhus, that's the devotees. They are the ones who is making us connect to Krishna. Knowing such rules and regulation, one should act in the that is, he may gradually be elevated, right? So Krishna is demanding that you should follow the rules and regulations of scriptures. Okay, so this was the small class. This part, the 16th chapter, is not very huge. So you can go through the 16th chapter. This is just about the demoniac and the divine nature, which we all have in ourselves. Divine nature, now it's almost absent in us. The divine nature, when it is open to us, when we start doing devotional service, right? Kali Yuga is what? It's full of demoniac nature. When Parikshit Maharaj saw Kali Yuga, he saw all these things, bad qualities, the meat eating, and all of these things were started during Kali Yuga. All cheating propensity, everything started. So these all demoniac natures are there in Kali Yuga. They are like gift. You take birth in Kali Yuga, these are all side effects that you will get. But then devotional service, what does it do? It brings out the divine quality of a person, right? That's why devotees, they don't really focus on divine qualities, they focus on devotional service. As a side effect, what comes is the divine qualities of a devotional service, right? That's the main criteria. That's the main thing that we should do, is we should start chanting the holy name of God. That's the very important. Okay, so as we grow further, as we go through the divine qualities, right? The devotees themselves are so divine that as we start progressing in Krishna consciousness, all this divine nature will start appearing in us, right? There were people who did so many crimes and everything, right? There was a disciple of Prabhupada. Before coming to um, there's a story that the devotees tell that when they were in one of the temple in America, and Prabhupada always used to go for morning walk, right? There was a person who called Crazy Peter. Okay, why devotees call him Crazy Peter? His name is Peter, but then devotees called him as Crazy Peter because he did nothing. Okay, yes, pig pen story, correct? Yes, Rishi knows the story, the pig pen. Okay, his name is pig pen, but then the devotees kept his name Crazy Peter because he did nothing. He did nothing. Just he came, he stared, and he was just sitting. And he just came for the temple. He was fully drug addict. You have seen people who are drug addict. They don't know what is real world. They are fully in hallucination. That's what the drug addicts are. So he was a hippie, he was a drug addict, and his home was in the bushes. In the garden, there are big bushes. He was residing there in the night. That means there is no home for him. He was residing inside the bushes. So morning he used to come because he knows that ISKCON gives free food. So he used to come and he used to sit, and after taking food, he used to go away. And he does not know how to speak. He does not know how to, you know, he does not know anything. He could not even utter a word because he was fully drug addict. Not even a single moment he was not a drug addict. He was fully drugged. So what happened? One day Prabhupada, he had a, you can go through the perfect question, perfect answer books. And there are some of the morning walk sessions. Prabhupada used to go for morning walk. And even there, he used to discuss about Krishna consciousness with his devotees. All disciples he used to discuss, and everything is recorded. If you go to Google, if you go to YouTube and press on, you type there morning walks of Srila Prabhupada, you get all the recordings. So everything is there. So once what happened, Prabhupada was going, and every time when they go out, they close the main door of the temple. That means uh, nothing is to be open, because all the leaving the pujaris, all of the disciples, they will go out with Srila Prabhupada for walking. So that was the routine. So when Prabhupada was going in the park, every day this crazy Peter, the pig pen, used to just tell something. He used to tell something like food or something. He used to indicate the devotees, and devotees used to ignore and go. When Srila Prabhupada came, because he was having what? He was having food in his ISKCON, that's prasadam. Because he was having some prasadam, he got some Ajnata Sukriti. And when Srila Prabhupada was walking on the same path near his bushes, he came and grabbed the feet of Srila Prabhupada. He just jumped and grabbed the feet of Prabhupada, and he said, "Save me, save me." Just like that. And then all the disciples came, because he was so dirty and torn clothes. He could not speak anything. Disciples threw him inside the bushes again. Like, you don't touch Prabhupada. Prabhupada didn't care, and he went. And when he was returning, when he was just going, Prabhupada, he grabbed the feet of Prabhupada again. And what happened? Prabhupada, next time again, the disciples came to snatch him from Prabhupada. Prabhupada told, "It's okay, let him be there." And then when they reached, they were just going through the park. And when they reached the temple main door, they saw that the door was slightly opened. Slightly open. They were thinking, who can open? Because pujaris are inside and we all are outside. We locked from outside. That means the person from outside has gone inside. Who must be that person? Because nobody knows ISKCON, not such famous. So everybody started wondering, and they went inside, and they saw this pigpen was sitting on the hall. He was just sitting on the hall, in the main hall, and just waiting. And as Prabhupada just entered the hall, he again jumped to Prabhupada's feet, and he was just holding, crying. Then Prabhupada, everybody started, wanted to grab him and throw him out of temple. Prabhupada stopped everybody, and he put his hand and started patting Big Pen. He said, "Okay, it's okay. Calm down, my boy, calm down." And he started patting Big Pen, and he made him, you know, calm down, and he made him sad. And then Prabhupada told, "Take care of him." And Prabhupada went for his work. Now devotees started thinking, what will happen? What will happen to this Big Pen? We should take care of him, or we should throw him out of the temple, because he's such a drug addict. If outside people see that we are keeping a drug addict, then people won't come to temple. But others said, because Prabhupada gave him shelter, we can't throw him out of the temple. And ultimately they decided to keep him inside temple. So they went upstairs. They made him to take the cloths and made him to bath. After so many years, he's taking bath. So that much of thinking he was, and so much dirty he was. So after so many years, he took bath, and after that they all made him wear dhoti. Although he was a devotee, he does not know any of the things, but still devotees wanted to wear him dhoti and everything. Then they made to see Prabhupada. Prabhupada was happy. And one day they wanted to go to book distribution every day. There's a routine after breakfast, after Bhagavatam class, they'll go to book distribution. So what happened? This pig pen also went with him. He was just cleaning the car after so many days, so many months he was staying in ISKCON temple. He got some, his speech was getting cleared because he was not taking drugs anymore. His speech got cleared. He got some consciousness that who he is and all of that, but he did not know any philosophy. Okay, he did not know what is Bhagavad Gita. He did not know anything. He used to chant, and he used to just, he knew only one sentence. Regard after Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he knew only one sentence. Even Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he could not pronounce. He knew only one sentence, that is, Prabhupada saved me. He used to tell only this one sentence, Prabhupada saved me, Prabhupada saved me. So he was cleaning that van, Sankirtan van. And then after cleaning, he knew that these devotees every day do go to book distribution. So he also came. I want to go to book distribution. All disciples were, you want to go to book distribution? Do you know what is written in the books? He said, I don't know. He nodded his head, I don't know. But then he was so, he wanted to go badly. Devotees gave him a bag. And after reaching the destination, they were, dividing the books among themselves, and they gave some books to Pen. And he went out, he went on the streets before them without taking breakfast. He ran to the streets, and when they took breakfast and when they were ready to go out, Pen came back, returned. And they saw the bag empty. Bag is empty. All the books are sold. Then they were shocked. Pen, did you throw these books somewhere? These books are very important. Did you throw them? Because they have no clue where all the books are. Pen told, no, I sold them. I sold them. He gave all the money which he collected by the book, and he gave it to the main lead. And he was shocked to see the money. He was like, from where did you get this all things? Who purchased? What did you tell that people purchased? No, I didn't tell anything. I just told, Prabhupada saved me. Prabhupada saved me. Prabhupada saved me. When I was telling this, people started taking this book, and they started reading, and they took these books, and I sold in this way. So everybody realized it's not that how much we know about the knowledge, it's the mercy of a Vaishnava which will save us. That's what, right? The demoniac to divine. I told, divine nature, we did not, concentrate on that. As we do devotional service, as we come in contact with devotees, our divine nature comes out automatically. What happened to Pen today? The same Prabhu is in some other country. He is the greatest preacher. Okay, so even today we can hear him, but we are not. Yes, Rishi Prabhu has risen. Yes, his name is Rasada Das. Yes, correct. So he is today doing so much preaching work, and they are old now, but then they were all disciples of Prabhupada. And yes, he got initiated by Prabhupada, and today we can see they are all old now, almost 70 plus now. So but still we can see their whole struggle, how they came into these things. So demoniac and divine nature are not for the, for this. As we do devotional service, as we come in contact with a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, we are saved. What Pen told, Prabhupada saved us. Actually, Prabhupada is saving all of us, but we don't realize like Pen realized. We are so late. He realized very early. That's the only difference we have. Okay. So with this small story, we ended this class today. So I hope you got some knowledge about Prabhupada and how he was so merciful towards all devotees. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Rishi Prabhuji, how many rounds you're chanting? Oh, very nice. 8 rounds. Very good. Keep it that. So as Ekadashi to Ekadashi, you can start increasing your rounds. Okay. So I hope you will one day reach 16 rounds as soon as possible. Ritika is chanting 2 rounds. Very nice, Ritika. So I hope you will reach that 16 rounds as much as possible. Let's see. Krishna will reach that rounds fast. Okay. We'll ask Krishna to give some time for us so that we can chant very nicely. Make our life prioritize, some space for Krishna consciousness, some space for our studies, some space for our daily activities in home, some space for our family and everything. So let Krishna mix everything arrangement properly so that we can chant his name very nicely. Okay. Yes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. I hope you all are doing the quizzes and only 2 more chapters left. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai.